But the vast majority of Wales is not set up in a way that will make this remotely practical. It seems that there is a lot of confusion surrounding net zero and what it actually is. Now, let me say from the outset that there are two factors here. There is the net zero agenda and the net zero plan. Let's take a look at the net zero agenda, which is a global agenda that has been validated by the United Nations and legally embedded by the UK. Yes, you heard that right. The United Kingdom was the first to set it into a legally binding national law in 2019. Now, the net zero agenda aims to globally reduce carbon emissions that is believed to be damaging to the climate. Despite this being contended between scientists for decades, it seems that our government has decided to fall for the agenda and become the world leader in it. If you're a person who questions what governments do, then you may question why the UK government is throwing millions at this agenda based on questionable scientific studies when the UK contributes barely 1% of human-caused greenhouse gases. Well, there seems to be a dark answer to this: control. You see, if the government can control your travel, your food, your access to amenities such as heating, then they can control your every move and you will be forced to comply to the government's plans. Now, this is not a new concept. For thousands of years, rulers and governments have tried everything to control their peoples so that they did not lose wealth, power or status. But over the years, different tools have been used and this one is the ultimate manipulation. Now, the net zero plan states that we will be aiming for 100% carbon reduction by 2050 for the UK. And the Welsh Government aim to pip the UK to the post with this one and get to 100% reduction by 2040. Now, according to gov.co.uk, we will aim to reach a 50% carbon reduction by 2028, a 78% reduction by 2035, and 100% by 2040. Even this government website admits that these are steep targets and will require some drastic measures that will directly affect people's lives. Now, this plan means that our cars will be reduced to a ridiculously small number, which is also made worse by the 15-minute travel plan. And if you don't know what that is, go and research it for yourselves. So this now means that all fuel trains and buses will have to be replaced by the renewable energy. We currently cannot afford to increase public transport as it is. So how exactly replacing a whole fleet of buses and have more running more often is even close to realistic? We have one main line for trains that's completely running on electric lines. There are still 3 lines to do. The implementation cost of this is astronomical, let alone the problems electrified lines pose, especially in Wales. Now, replacing fuel with electricity is all well and good for efficiency, but the push to electrify the lines is coming from achieving a net zero target. It's all fine for those living in cities to catch public transport and walk, but the vast majority of Wales is not set up in a way that will make this remotely practical. This is not about improving people's lives. And I don't believe it's about improving the environment, to be honest. I believe this is a project of control and power. Now, I am an advocate for improving public transport, but combined with the net zero agenda and plan, this is a waste of money. And once again, the Welsh people will suffer. So there you have it. Net zero in my book is a big fat con, but you do your own research and decide for yourselves. So don't look to the left, don't look to the right, look at Britain.